Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another How It's Made. This time we're going to be looking at Kullervo Perfected because this was a really fun one to make, and even relative to Excalibur Perfected, I implemented a lot of really new things here that I plan to use a lot more going forward because they're honestly just really cool. So yeah, this video isn't super long relative to Excalibur, which was like a half hour. This one's only about, actual like maybe 12 minutes of like legitimate editing. So it'd be a lot easier to go through. First thing you'll notice if you did watch it, which you should, I would hope so, is that this video has like a super dramatic VHS intro that I really like. These are just some VHS clips that I found on the internet, and then, they're all like the same shot. So I just tied them together in a cohesive manner and came up with this. Yeah, I really like this one. The sound in particular, I think the sound is really good here because this is all individual like sound clips you can see that I had to find and kind of match. Like the sound of him putting the VHS in the VHS player is like a separate sound bite. That's kind of synced up so that it makes sense. The TV static and everything, it's this right here. And it came out really good. It also kind of set the theme for this entire video. You'll notice that I have film grain and film like dirt texture over the entire thing to give it sort of like a retro-y vibe. And it came out looking just really good, man. Oh, damn, bro. That is cool things here. So as you can see with this shot, it is a move and capture shot of Kullervo, but the infinity text is actually 3D tracked onto him so that as the camera moves in game, because like this isn't like movement that I did with, keyframes and stuff. It's movement in game. It's tracked onto him in After Effects, and then I just have a smooth motion camera transition to get us into the next frame. Boom, rotoscope out the background easily. Coming right here, I like this one a lot. I alpha burn him up because this is like a rotoscoped freeze frame of Kullervo from this footage. Boom, into him one tapping everything because I'm talking about damage. Just some element manipulation right here, and I really like this one. This is the damage number from this right here, but it's obviously its own text layer. So I have it come out from under the harmony, and then I real quick zoom it back and VHS transition into the actual footage where it's it's just an in-game damage number, and it comes out looking really good. So yeah, that was a cool one to make. Simple slide down. What you'll notice right here is that, like, you see the way that he's standing? The way that I then transition into it being like my actual Kullervo avatar talking was sort of like to replicate it. I did use my own fashion though, and I wish I used the base fashion so it would have looked similar. And obviously it's, green screen, so the color grading is a little off because I can't perfectly match it, but yeah. Oh, this shot. I could talk about this shot forever because when I had the idea for it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this work. And I did. So we VHS transition out to it actually being an in-game monitor. Pretty cool. The matching on that is not the greatest. I actually didn't even realize you could see it like scales itself up a little bit for a second there. I just think I had the zooms mistimed. Yeah, I don't know what that. Oh, that's lens distortion in Premiere, so annoying. But we film burn into this, which is like, him looking at it. And then right here, I have a really cool shot that I'll play forward for you. So it's me talking about the two builds that I have. But you can see actually that this is two separate clips right here. Like when the camera in game starts moving, if I play it slow, you can see the cut right there. And I just, hide it because in speed, you can't tell if there's a cut. Like you really can't tell. Film burn hides that super well. And then in game, I have a advanced camera motion capture a shot that zooms over here, and then boom, this is another cut right here. You can see the lighting actually change because if you look, we have Kullervo right there, but he's not there right now. And then he's fading in right now. You can see him like kind of blur in because it's two separate shots because, you know, my Kullervo was over here and then he was over there. So, you know, obviously that's impossible, but it's just two shots with the same camera motion both times. And then this is a 3D tracked one, because I say one build, and it's a melee setup, so I have Wrathful Advance. It is a 3D tracked shot on those two, and then boom, a rotoscope out of the background with the text sniper, because, you know, it's also a sniper setup. Bring Setter 9 up, burn him away, pretty simple. I do like right here how the Wrathful Advance twirls a little bit. And you'll notice in my videos that whenever I can have rotation on a graphic, I always do it because it's one of the most visually appealing things you can add, and it's super easy. I might as well have it rotate while it's coming up. But I actually continue the rotation into the Collective Curse icon, and I really like how clean it looks. Smooth, smooth. I do have the Collective Curse text here, but it's kind of hard to read. I wish I used a different blend mode. Man, I don't like cool stuff in this video. Bring this up because I'm talking about 7 crimes, and this is the promo image. Fade in the background, zoom out to the actual 7 crimes website, and then I was like, how am I gonna show what I want to say in a cool way? Like, I could just blur this and darken it and bring the text up, or because it's a web page and I can just, you know, F12 edit it, I might as well add it to the title. And this looks really good. Me raging over it being broken. Nice little alpha burn transition here. This is another really cool graphic edit. So boom, we bring a circle up because I'm talking about an angle, and you know, it's a 65-degree cone, so obviously a circle makes sense. But you'll notice, like, if I were to rotate like just this white circle part, like, it wouldn't look like it was rotating because it's all the same. Which is why I have these numbers of the actual circle angles rotating, so you can see that it's rotating to kind of like fake it. And then I do have these 2 bars coming out to signify a true 65-degree cone. And you can actually see that they are like 2 separate elements that are just rounded at the edge so that they match into this white dot that I had at the center. Like, zoomed out and at full speed, you can't tell. But yeah, the only thing I wish I added to this was this rotating too, like rotating from here up to here to then get the 65 degrees, but it looks good as is. And then right here, some basic 3D. I have the text come out between these 2 right here, and I rotate the whole thing to have the text actually be readable. Because, like, you know, I could have it come out here, but it's on a weird tilt angle. And then I just like radial fade it out because it's a circle. Grunge transition into this. Low key, gotta be honest with you, I don't know why this 65 is a different red than the angle. They're the same hex code, they have the same blend mode and opacity and everything. I don't know why that happened. Transition here, simple number count up. I accidentally said angle, so I just big text with it. Zoom out, we're just talking about how curse works right now. This one's pretty interesting. So I say line of sight, everyone refers to it as LOS, so I just swipe that away. Then I have the pillage icon come out of it, and then boom, put the actual next footage in pillage and increase its scale aggressively. And I think it looks pretty good. All simple stuff here. Just playing around with some text coloring. It looks pretty nice. I like this one right here. I have the 5, and then I might as well keep the 0 because I go up to 100%. So why not just keep that consistent? And then that's just a, you know, fade. I wish I used something different there. But the 200% and the strength fit really nicely together, so I could just, you know, have them centered. Just yap. Yeah, bring that on. Nothing too complicated here. Just memeing influence. Here's another tracking shot that I tried to do, but it didn't come out nearly as well because I was having some trouble with the capture camera. So it looks kind of messy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that one. I'm gonna move past that. I do this transition a lot. I put the gameplay or whatever I'm doing in the actual ability like menu and then fade it out and zoom out. And then I'm like, yeah, this right here. The way that you write 1-to-1 is 1:1. I don't know why I put 1-to-1 like legitimately. That's kind of stupid. This right here is a simple rotoscope of Kullervo to have these come out from behind him. Shield drain damage doesn't have an elemental icon, so I just flipped a magnetic. Nice little like consistency thing here. Boom, we have the health here because I'm talking about HP, and then I grunge transition it into like an enemy with shields. Looks really nice. These are the actual colors for health and shields. What do I do after this? Oh yeah, that has no modifier, either positive or negative, so I just have that there. Bring that past the frame and bring this in. Damage reduction, armor color. I like this transition right here into true damage because the blend on the true damage icon with the actual true damage text looks really nice. I like that one. I like that one. I do transitions like these all the time. Bring text up, have a graphic element, wipe it away, and have more text come from behind it. It's super simple, but it looks really, really good. This is an After Effects animation of a number counting up. It's not a bunch of individual number frames. So that was super easy. Oh, I like this one right here. The way that I like distort them into one another looks really good. And then me talking, I don't remember what I was yapping about. Explaining quadratic scaling. You know, when I say they have no armor, I really like manipulating elements themselves. So I bring up the armor icon that I use and then I just drain the middle of it. And that looks really good. Pause to get out of there. 5 into 500. Math. This right here is actually an editing error. This is supposed to be an H and this is supposed to be a D. But like, you know, it's all multiplication. So even if you multiplied N times D times H, you would still get the same number. I just like accidentally used the wrong one. So you just have to listen to what I say. The actual equation per enemy. How the like group wide damage works. So yeah, pretty simple stuff here. I used this transition only right here because it made sense visually. I was trying not to do the like the smooth motion transitions that I use all the time in other videos because I had a style for this video, which was VHS and retro and film burns and stuff. So I use those most of the time to like keep it consistent. And I use the same font everywhere because it kind of fit Kullervo. But I did use this right here because in this footage, we're scrolling down on a menu, so I might as well pull the whole footage down. And then I like wave distorted it up. Just talking here. This is a cool one. I knew people would want to see the one with the higher damage numbers, so I just kind of like played into that. And then right here, actually, you can't even tell. If you look at this, the film burn is so aggressive that it just looks like a transition between the two. But if I disable the film burn, you'll actually see, wait, wrong one. If I disable the film burn, you'll actually see that it's me scaling this clip into the other one, which is a transition I do in a lot of other videos. But the film burn just really hides it. But that's fine. Just memeing right here. Harmony, text behind it and cropped off at the sides. It's a pretty simple edit. I do like right here, which is why I used a lens blur. How the actual Harmony PNG and the way that Jade's holding it kind of like blur together really nicely. I forget what comes after. Oh yeah, this is a nice little speed ramp right here. Talking about the weapons, so if I play the footage, you can see that I'm moving and then boom. Oh wait, no, it's not that one. Oh, that's funny. Where is the speed ramp that I used? I had a really, really nice like slow down animation. This is just some visual element manipulation. Heavy attack, simple stuff right here. Nothing too crazy. You'll notice that I have a lot of like transitions in between clips with dissolves where I'm like rotating the zoom. And that is intentional. It's just like a cool thing that I figured out how to do with my transitions. Little Excalibur plug. Harmony come up talking about afflictions. Is it here? Oh, this is where I had my best friend who I stream with come and explain melee afflictions. He's going to college for chemical engineering. So I was like, let me play funny with the like, I'm going to, you know, and he's going to a nice university. I like this transition here on Dante. I had him be Dante because, you know, like librarian, smart and everything. Yeah. Because it is like a college lecture, quote unquote, I did this whole blackboard with the blackboard font, the chalk. Excuse me, sorry, damn. My voice has been bothering me, my throat's been bothering me for a while. So yeah, pretty simple stuff here, a lot of visual element manipulation. This whole thing right here took like 2 hours. Nothing too crazy here, just kind of a meme at the end. That's all for me. Homework will be posted on Blackboard. Oh, and I'm so annoyed about this. So this is how it looks in the actual video. What it was supposed to sound like was this. I forgot to have the music enabled. So it's just like the rat dancing to the background when he goes, stay skibbity.
Stay skibbity.
But there was no music. Or like this like goofy ass stupid music. I forgot to enable the music. Whatever though. Back to me. Oh yeah, the build is super simple. There's barely any editing here because I just didn't want to. Then we get to explaining the quadratic scaling and I actually start editing the video again. This is a cool like slide transition in a nest right there. Pretty simple. Oh yeah, I like how I bring the curse up here and then have the mods come from the center of it while I like bring it up to the top, fill the frame. That looks pretty good. Sorry, coughing a lot. This is where May took over, my girlfriend. I like baited with the Professor Fortnite guy thing, and then was like, yo, she's actually the one explaining it. Simple mod or augment explanation there. I like this one a lot because I'm like the explosion radius, so I bring up to 5 enemies, and to reveal the 6-meter radius, I just like explode them. Not the first time I've used that effect. Talking about viral, simple stuff here. I like the shape flow transition a lot. I'm gonna start using them more often because they look really cool. One annoying ass thing right here is that I accidentally deleted her dialogue from this part of the video. So like you get here and then she just like stops talking and then just randomly joins in again.
This is one of the crazy.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. And then it just be yapping about the builds and then the video ends. So yeah, that's some insight into the process of making this video. Right now I am working on a primary crux short, which is a bit longer, and then a core video. Yeah, I'm doing another core video. It's not a perfected episode. It's a super short guide about like, hey, here's why melee influence Whipped Claw is actually way better than old Korra. So yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate you guys and the crazy support that I've been getting lately. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye.